Today we've been making cheese, ricotta from goat's milk to be specific. And it was the 4.5 gallon recipe. And in here, I am guessing I probably have maybe around 3 gallons of whey. You get quite a bit of whey when you make cheese. And what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up to 160 degrees. Now, if you want to get more ricotta from your product than what I am today, or if you want to get more ricotta from your whey ricotta, once it reaches 160 degrees, you can add in, I believe it is, let's see, 5 to 12% more of what you made. So if we have 3 gallons, then I would put in, maybe a third of a gallon more, or a quart. I'd probably put a quart in here. Anyway, so then we're not going to do that today because I don't need to get more. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat it all the way up to 170 degrees. Once we reach that part, we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt for every gallon of whey. So that is going to be probably about a teaspoon and a half. And then I'm going to keep heating this up to at least 185, probably close to 200 degrees. We just do not want to get to boiling. And then we will add, at that point, we will add a half a teaspoon of citric acid per gallon of liquid. The citric acid should be dissolved in a half a cup of water. Add quickly to the pot. Stir briskly for 5 to 10 seconds. And then we're going to watch those curds form and come up. You can also do this with vinegar, but I love using citric acid, so that's probably what I'm going to use today. Sometimes if I don't feel like I've got enough out of it, I will go ahead and add vinegar later just to pull a little bit more out. So if I have not mentioned it already, you would go ahead and you heat this up without disturbing. We don't stir with this. So we are at 118 degrees. And remember, we're going to go ahead and go on up to about 170 before we stir in that salt. So once that hits that, I'll be back and show you how I do that. Okay, so you're probably going to hear this. It keeps beeping at me. It's telling me it's ready. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our salts. Now, I kind of just guessed that this was around 3 gallons. In the past, I've had really good luck if I actually will take the time to measure it out. I mean, take your jars, even if you haven't washed them yet, and you can measure them out. But I've gotten to where I kind of know where my pot is with the liquids and things that are in it. Okay, so we've aggressively stirred this, and we're just kind of getting that salt to dissolve. And that is all we're going to do. I'm going to put this back on here. It's beeping at me again, but I need it to get to somewhere around 190, 200 degrees before we do the next thing. Okay, we are at 189, 190. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this off so I don't forget to do that. We don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to take that, remember that citric acid? Oh, shoot. We were supposed to dilute that in water. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here. Totally forgot that part, guys. Sure glad I remembered it now because it wouldn't have been the same product. I should have been diluting that while I was waiting for that to heat up, but I'm glad I went ahead and shut that off. Can you see this foam? I mean, we're already starting to get curd development up here, but I cannot wait to show you what it does once we add this. And I'll do the same thing I always do on the back of the spoon type of thing, just to spread it. Oh, wow. I hope you can see this. That was one of the reasons I switched back to that. So we're just going to kind of real quickly stir this in. And then I'm just going to let this set for a little bit because the curds have already formed. And by me moving them around, it really does affect it. But it doesn't take but a moment. Oh, let me show you. Can you see this here? How those are tiny, tiny little curds. Okay. And we pull them apart. And by doing this, going around and pushing these together, it's going to make it a little firmer and a little stronger. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit. Again, we're working with the goat's milk, so it's a little more fragile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're gonna pull it off. Strainer I had, look how fine that mesh is. I mean, it's smaller holes than the typical ricotta one is. And what I'll do is I'll start taking this, and it might be ready already. Might not really have to wait long. Oh yeah, it's starting to come together. So I'll be transferring it here, and then this is gonna set, I'm probably gonna leave it overnight. And then if I feel like it's too dry, we can always add in a little whey, or we can add in a little bit of milk actually, and make a creamy ricotta, depending on what we want it for. A lot of times I use it in pasta, so I don't mind if it's a little dry because I might be adding some sauces and things. Depending on what you want to use it for. If you want to make a dessert, you know, it just depends on what you want. So that's the fun thing about making your own cheeses at home. You can customize it to however you want. This is an even finer mesh. I mean, wow. So I'm going to take it, and then that way I can get these curds that are just so very, they're just very small, to be honest. And I can take them and transfer them over better. And I'm just going to kind of layer along the bottom. I can stack this if I want, and maybe leave a little, I might leave a little space off to the side to get more curds out. But it is so, I'm telling you, the goat milk just makes a much more fragile curd. I don't even know if you can see. Let's see if you can see this. Now, earlier with the feta, I could not smell it, but at this point, I can actually smell the goat, which, you know, goat milk does take on a smell after a certain amount of time. Some people will argue that with me, but I have found, you know, week-old goat's milk is going to smell a little goaty, and that's just kind of the way it is. And I can smell it in this, so I probably won't, I'll probably make this in something that might call for a tangier experience. And now you're probably wondering, what am I going to do with this whey? Well, I'm going to let it cool overnight, again, just like this other. And my chickens absolutely love it, especially the goat's milk, probably because more proteins, I think, get left behind in that whey than the cow's whey. But this will be a delicious treat for them. See you all tomorrow. It's been 8 hours.
You'll have to forgive me. I have not had coffee yet.
So our ricotta has had
Still running pretty slow.
plenty of time to drain. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So I'm going to take that and put it in a container. We'll see how much we got. Oh, it's nice. It's not too dry, which I'm excited about. I don't know if I told you last night, but we put this plate over upside down on it. Just, you know, to keep any sort of dirt and things out. And this, now we have ricotta. That's easily 8 ounces. Probably might be close to a pound. Like I said, if we would have added a quart of milk back in there, we would have gotten a lot more. But I didn't need more. I don't need more. I make this every time I make cheese, so I don't need tons of it. And I think just for funsies, let's go ahead and see if there's any more in here, because sometimes this whey that was left in the pot, there's not going to be anything on top, but sometimes on the bottom there are some curds that will sink, and they're not going to be real sweet, but it doesn't mean they can't be still used. Plus, I need a little room in the pot to take it to the chickens because yeah, I'm seeing just a few. I don't know that it'll actually catch it. It looks like they're pretty much going through the holes, but I need a bigger pot to take this to the chickens. It's just, it was too full anyway. So yeah, looks like it's all going to kind of go through the mesh. In case you're wondering. I think that's why my chickens like the goat more, because they, there's always a little bit of tiny bit of those curds left. So yeah, we got a little, but nothing that would have been worth saving. So I could just stir this back in and let the chickens have it.